The Westralia Square Precinct sits in the heart of the CBD of Perth, and it has a long history going back to the mid-80s.
Because of our involvement in the building historically, when GDI purchased the building in 2017, they came to us to explore opportunities.
So we did think right from the beginning, there is an opportunity here, but what does it look like? The building itself sits on top of a 5-storey concrete car park, and our journey really started around how big can we make this new building and what value can it add to the rest of the precinct. So our ambition was to really look at what we could do and improve, and importantly, what we could do from an environmental perspective.
That aligned with our vision to reuse and maximise that rather than demolition and rebuilding.
What we were able to do was really find the intersection between a sustainable approach and unlocking the maximum value of that site. The solution that we came up with is a steel timber hybrid.
In order to make the project viable, the client had to construct a 12-storey commercial tower. We had to have that tower on top of an existing 5-storey car park that had to remain active during the entire duration of the construction. We determined that concrete, we could only get probably 3 to 4 levels to work. So what we did then was we started to look at different construction techniques. And then we got to CLT in a steel frame. So we did initial calcs and we found that, yeah, it was stacking up without significant strengthening to the basement and the columns. And it was going to achieve what the client wanted.
The main structural challenge for the project was definitely the vibration design. Because it is an office and people are sitting at desks, you are more likely to feel people walking around the building.
How you typically would combat vibration on the floor is you increase the mass, which unfortunately we couldn't do because we'd overload the existing structure below. So what we did, we actually touched base with our dynamic specialists from around the globe. They had been using a self-developed damping system that was used basically in an existing building. If you went in and you felt vibration, they came in as a retrofit. They put this damper in either up to the soffit or in the raised floor to combat the vibration.
Damping involved in, a bit like in your car, shock absorbing the movements and converting the energy into movements of masses on the floor as opposed to moving the floor as itself.
We determined quite early on that actually Westralia Square 1, which is next door and owned by GDI Properties, had a significant amount of excess capacity. We could use that capacity from the existing plant room and the existing generators and machinery to actually power our building. So what that did is it saved us from having to construct a large plant space on our building and buy new plants, so there was significant savings in both cost and carbon.
If you factor in the basis that we were able to build that building on top of the basement and retain the foundations and columns and just provide some low-level strengthening, we've saved the CO2 for building the equivalent overall building and car park.
The Arab team had an idea and a lot of experience around the timber hybrid solution right from the beginning. But importantly, I think the collaboration and the design strategy and the ability to communicate and discuss and analyse that it wasn't an organisation clearly just about spreadsheets, maths and calculations. It was an organisation that really wanted to understand what our aspirations were, what our risks looked like, and what we were trying to achieve from a value-add proposition.
What this building shows is the art of what's possible with adaptive buildings design. And we look forward to collaborating across industry on projects like this.
Working on Westralia Square through my graduate program was a really good learning and development experience. It gave me so much exposure to different design aspects of a building.
One of the biggest hopes I have is that this project and the ingenuity and creativity we've shown with this project will help influence other developers and other contractors and other engineers when they're looking at existing buildings. Hopefully the first protocol is not, we need to demolish this building, build a new concrete frame. These buildings can be reused, recycled and repurposed for future generations.